Coming at you from New Jersey, the capital of misery, the place where metal forgot to die.
This is the Here Lies Metal Too Many Nuts New Music Review. I'm Samantha.
And I am Maledictus. We shall be your overlords for today and all of eternity. Welcome. Today, we have a band called Crimson Tower with a Eternal Abyss.
Aeternal?
Aeternal?
Eternal?
Aeternal? How do you pronounce that?
I don't know, but this band was formed last year in São José dos Campos, Brazil.
Sounds like a nice place.
They consist of Casitas.
We'll say Casitas.
Bass, songwriting, and vocals. So he's taking credit on the
Taking
songs.
credit. He's like, I did this song.
Acheron on drums and
Acheron?
Stiggies on guitar and vocals. I believe those are all rivers in Hades.
The geography of hell.
Those might not be their real names of Greek hell.
Greek, just specifically Greek hell, which just doesn't seem that bad when you read about it.
I mean, yeah, you can just chill there.
It's nuanced. It's very nuanced.
But this is their debut album. It released back on September 30, 2021, digitally and on CD via Cientos Discos. And I did notice it back then. I had fun listening to it back then. But we're going to talk about it now again because it's coming back on cassette on March 18th, 2022 via Morbid and Miserable Records. So we'll just give it a little bump.
So always a cassette on the way.
I got one coming.
There we go. There's always a cassette these days. Think of how Maledictus feels. He feels so left out in this world.
You can have mine.
Okay.
You can share mine.
I'll listen to the cassette. I can just listen to it on Bandcamp, though. So I just press the button. But anyway, it's time for business. And that business is the Here Lies Metal 5-point bidirectional classification scale, including the categories of genre loyalty, listenability, production style, musical complexity, and fun. Neither of these sides of this scale means good or bad, just so you know. Don't feel left out. The first scale is true or nonconformist. What is it?
It's a 1 for true.
Mm-mm.
It is true. It is some true fucking doom. Specifically of the new wave of British heavy metal kind of style. You know, think like your pagan altar kind of doom.
The late 70s, early 80s.
The old doom. The old raw doom.
Yes.
You've got the big fucking doom riffs with kind of like maybe an occult edge to them. Clear, but not too upfront kind of doom vocal. And kind of a vague folk element. They definitely love that kind of old British, specifically doom, and it has kind of a British folk sound on some of it. What did you think?
And that must be why he sounds like Rob Halford to me. He sounds like kind of Rob Halfordy to me, right?
Like maybe if Rob Halford was recorded at this production level, he would sound like
Yeah,
that.
I think, not like with the
Well,
intensity.
he's not as screaming like Rob Halford, but maybe he's more...
It's got the growl, though, of Rob Halford.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So next is Sonic Terror or Distorted Pop. What is it?
We're going to get a 4. We're in this distorted
4.
pop end for once.
How pleasant.
Well, almost all the way. I mean, doom riffs are always highly listenable. You know what a doom riff is, I hope, if you're here. And they're definitely not leaning too hard into like annoyingly catchy doom, which I feel like modern doom does. This is old sounding doom.
Yes.
Very mid-tempo to up-tempo, nothing too ponderous or boring here.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's hard for doom to be Sonic Terror. It's very difficult. Doom of this era, anyway. Like maybe new doom could get kind of there, but some new doom, but like the really heavy stuff. But doom riff, doom likes the riff. It's all about the riff, right? And this has a lot of very.
You've got the riffs.
Got a lot of riffs, very riffy, and it's got the slow, lazy songs. Very clear vocals, obviously, as doom would do. Doom doesn't really. Get into like the, so yeah, all the check boxes, all the boxes are checked here for Doom, and that leaves it in the distorted pop area.
Yeah, one thing I liked about this is the vocal is that very true old school Doom vocal. I think, some more modern Doom vocals are much more melodic.
Yes.
And this is, it's clear, but it's not like the vocals playing a melody line. It's, I don't know what you would call it, but you know what I mean.
It's kind of a drone. Like,
it's kind of a drone.
Yeah.
But it's not a lazy drone too, like other modern Doom.
We can.
This is a very true sounding old school Doom kind of style of singing.
Yeah.
So, I think that also keeps it too far from the distorted pop where we would come like extremely melodic. So
Yes.
final note there. Okay. Production scale, Fisher Price to high production, Maledictus.
This landed around 3.5, and the recording quality is pretty decent here. But I think Doom is generally easy to record. It's kind of it's lazy. It's slower, so I feel like it's easier to kind of catch all the instruments and all the sounds of the instruments. Nothing's going to really get left out. Everyone could be heard, and I think everyone wants to be heard in this kind of music. It's very full sound, very dynamic, and the vocals have the right effects for that Doom era. They're trying to replicate that big echoey kind of sound that they wanted back then. They're capturing that late 70s, early 80s new wave British heavy metal era Doom. I call it second gen Doom. Some people still call that first gen, but me, I'm a little more specific. I call it second gen Doom. It's post Sabbath Doom. I have to take points away from the sloppiness in landing some of the beats sometimes, but we're going to cover that in the next. That goes more with the next category, which is not enough notes or too many notes. What is it?
Yeah, I'm going to say it's like a 2 for not enough notes. And as you said, it's very sloppy. I feel like there's some straight mistakes on the album. And time at some points seems like it's a little bit relative, like the drummer's in his own time and the guitars in their own time. But there's also some very like spacey, psyched out guitar solos on this thing. So I can't, it's not like a 1 for not enough notes.
Yeah, definitely not there. I think Doom generally is going to get on the lower than not enough notes there, mostly, generally. But there's some points where they kind of miss the beat. I don't know. It's like, maybe it's intended. I don't know. I'm not saying anyone is better than them. It's just, it's all natural.
It felt very organic.
Organic. That's that you can't. There's always a positive way to interpret these things.
I mean, I had no problem with it personally.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh, this sucks. They missed the beat. It's like, oh, I get it. You have to be, very open minded about all music. Now, but with that in mind, this is very simple, as Doom usually is. It's not a lot of chord change. It's not a lot of variation in like this, this key or that key. The songs are very riff based, but it's kind of a variation of a riff. It's like they're kind of only playing like one riff in a lot of songs. They're not really going to another.
Well, the riff comes back a lot.
The riff comes back a lot. When the riff comes back, but the riff comes back a lot. The riff constantly comes back. In fact,
if you want the riff to come back, this is the album. Check out.
It'll be back in the next measure. In fact. 'Tis Doom. Doom is lazy. What do this is not, we're not working hard here. We're not doing cocaine. We're not Black Sabbath in the late 70s. This is, the next stage of Doom. The solos are skillful. Now don't be fooled, because when he plays a solo, he's doing it with some skill. He's doing the whole thing there. The solos are very clean. The solos aren't missing anything. So he's doing that, according to the rules, whatever that is. But yeah, there's this curious acoustic part in track 3, and that kind of reminds me of sort of like 80s thrash, 80s metal. A lot of people used to do that back then. Not a lot of people do that anymore. Next, fun or focused? What is it?
I think this is a tough call. I'm actually going to say this is going to be a 2 for fun. Okay. Because worship, Doom worship albums like this, a worship of any kind of straight, where you get a 1 for true, where the guys are just, playing music they love and having fun. It's got to be somewhat fun, no matter what genre you're playing. Especially like as we mentioned, like they're not even worried if they get off time at parts of this album. They're just like, oh, you don't need to fix it.
Yeah, that takes away from focus.
We're just having fun,
Yeah, that takes away.
We're here having fun, and anyone who cares about that mistake, they shouldn't listen to our album. But a lot of the riffs are dark. It's a bit of a brooding, melancholic, doomy nature to it. Songs are about witches, being witched, dark ceremonies, etc.
You've been witched.
She's witching me.
Yeah, I think Doom will usually falls in the middle of this scale, because like you don't know if Doom is serious or not. It's usually just kind of in the middle, because they're kind of loose about things, but they're kind of serious about their lyrics. I don't know. Like I don't know of too many funny Doom bands. I don't know. But I don't know if really serious Doom bands. So like the middle is really perfect for any kind of Doom for the most part. Doom is always, it's about witches and demons and stuff and such as they do. But sometimes, like I said, you don't know if they're having fun or not. But so we're just gonna throw that in the middle.
All right, let's look at the artwork.
What's going on here?
Credit goes to Rudimentary Light.
I like this. I like the style. This is simple.
That's when I did find this album back in September last year, and that cover is why I listened
cool.
to it.
That's simple. That looks like a Doom cover.
First off, logo is awesome too.
That's cool. I like that.
This is a great typeface.
It's well done. Red background, strong, high contrast.
Striking.
Doom albums always have a certain look to them, and this has the Doom album look, right? But it's a little bit unique, though.
But I think it's very appropriate because there's a lot of Doom that comes out, especially now that I'm kind of tired of. Mm-hmm. But I knew upon looking at this that this was going to be the good kind of Doom.
There you go. See, by the cover, somebody listened to your album because of the cover. Because let's face it, Doom is kind of very predictable a lot of times, and you're like, here we go again with this. Did no one get the memo? This is kind of getting boring. But no, you guys kind of were like, hey, you guys are standing out in a sea of Doom bands that all kind of sound the same. You guys are definitely standing out, and it all started with this cover. So good choice in designer. Who designed this?
Rudimentary Light.
Oh, so whoever Rudimentary Light is.
Linked to an Instagram account.
Okay.
So check them out on Instagram.
It's cool. Cool design. I like this design 100%. Really, it's a cool cover. Unique.
All right. Final thoughts. Yeah, very cool Doom album. I was happy to see them get a tape release as opposed to just a local kind of Brazil release. The tape label is US based. I think they're in Ohio. So yeah, cool. Bring them here. Awesome. And again, yeah, as we said, we don't talk about a lot of Doom all the time here. I think maybe every 6 reviews we'll do a Doom album because not much Doom stands out to us.
Is Doom dead?
We're very happy to bring
comment down below
to find Doom that we like, which happens to be the Doom that sounds especially ancient and doing ancient Doom well. So
yeah, if you're gonna do this area of Doom, it's gonna probably stand out as opposed to somebody doing just modern, very Electric Wizard sounding kind of Doom, which is really just getting overplayed these days. So yeah, you guys are doing the old school, so that's always cool.
All right. Thank you for listening. This has been the Too Many Notes New Music Review. I was Samanthar.
Maledictus.
He was Maledictus.
And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you again with another review soon.